You might remember that at the end of his presidency, Joe Biden warned the whole nation about a rising oligarchy that threatened democracy and basic rights and freedoms and things like that. Well, despite the fact that Instacart was very, very chummy with the Biden administration, it appears that Joe Biden was warning us about Instacart, for one. And the reason I say that is because Instacart is currently fighting against the passage of a New York City law that would provide a minimum wage for grocery shop and deliver app workers. It has yet to be signed into law by Mayor Adams, but Instacart is not only fighting against this, but has threatened a lawsuit if it does pass. In spite of the fact that other app companies are apparently already adhering to this minimum wage law. And so the reason I say they're fighting democracy and that maybe Joe Biden was warning us about them is because even though the law hasn't been signed by Eric Adams yet, it has advanced to this point through the democratic process. It was voted on by the city council, who are elected to their positions and everything. And yet Instacart is fighting this democratic process tooth and nail. Regardless of whether you or I might approve of this law, it has in fact undergone that lawful process. And so why are they so opposed to it? And why is Instacart's Danny Dudek being less than straightforward when she says that countless New Yorkers would be affected by the loss of this necessary service? That's not a direct quote, but essentially that's what she's saying. And it's ridiculous because Instacart didn't even exist until 2012. It really didn't take off on a grand scale until the COVID lockdowns. So the idea that this is going to cause some unbelievable degree of harm to people, like they're not going to be able to get groceries anymore or whatever, is not truthful. The world was fine before Instacart, and people in New York City would be fine if they had to go back to just going to get their own groceries. In fact, it's probably easier than in some other places. You can get on the subway and go to the store or whatever. So the fact is that Instacart doesn't apparently like the democratic process very much and has committed themselves to fighting against this. So maybe people should have taken Joe Biden's warning to heart and stopped using Instacart.